Welcome back, everybody, to episode 3 of The Matrix Online Revisited. I am Vesuveus, and I am here. We are going to start to delve into the greatest stories from The Matrix Online, the Pandora's Box arcs. It is a 4-part story that will reveal very many details from past versions of The Matrix, as well as tie into Reloaded and Revolutions very nicely. So if you loved the Pandora's Box arcs, keep a lookout on my Instagram, because very soon you will be able to own your very own Pandora's boxes, starting with the one featured here in this video, the Crucible of Affliction, and just about all of its contents. But more on that later. Just want to remind you that this is all filmed inside the emulator. If you want to get the emulator, it's mxoemu.info. You can download it, install it, join in. It's a work in progress, so it's not all fully functional. But if you're looking for nostalgia, it is perfect. You can run around the mega city. Keep watching for more. So, Pandora's Box. Here we go. We start off by jacking into historic downtown. And I'm just going to wait for the code to clear up here. We got some snowflakes. And we're going to be heading south and meeting up with a new collector in the area, known as none other than the archaeologist. And he is going to kick off this entire Pandora's Box storyline with a little bit of information, and he will be pointing us in the right direction. Okay, so we have found him. Here is the archaeologist in just about the southern part of the city. And in the emulator it doesn't work, but I got some screenshots here from back in the day. So when we click on him, have you heard the news? The disappearance of the researcher? Did you? Oh, my apologies. I've gone and done it again, haven't I? I am the archaeologist, and it's a pleasure to meet you. I research exotic objects, in particular those that are not native to this version of the Matrix. Well, that's where you can help me. There have been some mysterious sightings lately, along with the disappearance of a certain Dr. Facet, whose research in this field has been, well, invaluable. He was last seen checking into the Hampton Green Hotel. Do look into this, won't you? I finished studying some other artifacts which I could make available to you. I think they might make this worth your while. So off we go back to the Hardline Historic South. We're going to head over to Hampton Green in the downtown district of the megacity. Alright, so we're in Hampton Green. We are right next to the Hampton Green Hotel. Oop, jumping down. Give you a little view of the city here. The Green Code City before it clears up. I love this effect. Always loved this effect. The wrap around the trees. So the Hampton Green Hotel is an exile gang hideout. So we go in the elevators, we head down. It's only going to take you down one level at a time, so you got to go through a bit of a maze here. I'll pull up the map. This area will be filled with exile gangs, and you fight your way through. If you're much higher levels, you just run right through it like I am now. They won't even bother you if you're 5 levels above. But if you played the game, you already know that. So we get to the other side of this second subfloor, and we head down to the 3rd floor. And Facet is somewhere around here. It's a bit of a maze, so we gotta look for him. Who is this guy Facet? Who is this guy? He's some researcher. So we get to the other side of subfloor 3. We gotta head down to subfloor 4. I believe this is the final level for this hideout. So So if the game was live, you could fight the exile gang boss and, you know, maybe get some cool loot. And we're getting warmer. And Facet was located right at the end of this hallway, but in the emulator he doesn't show up. Again, I got some screenshots. Who are you? Why do you disturb Facet? Have you followed his work? Do you understand the implications? Obviously not. If you had, you would not be here bothering him. You would be running just as Facet is running. Are you fool enough to delve where you ought not to? Then Facet cannot stop you, but at least you can help him. The train man demands a heavy price for transport out of this hellhole. Help Facet, and he will give you a piece of his research. Facet must hide. You go away from here. Now off with you. The further you are from Facet, the better. And if you decide to use his notes, may the consequences be on your head. Do not say that Facet failed to warn you. Alright, so we're heading out. This is the final room of the exile hideout. So this is where the boss would be. A little look around. Yeah. So we're gonna head out the final door around the corner, and there is a hard line that will teleport us out of here. Where it drops you is a bit incorrect. You can tell on the map it looks like I'm outside, so you just kind of run right through the walls here. So we have Facet's research notes. So we have to go to International. I always used to teleport to Akasaka. That was close to Tokyo Row, which is where we're going to be meeting our contact. So we're in Tokyo Row. We're going to meet Dr. Facet's contact. And I'll use the elevator. I'll go up to the area just to show you, you know, what the mission area. This wasn't the exact mission area, but this was pretty much it. This is the location. But as you can tell from the map, the green areas are all mission areas. The beige areas are just open hallways. So I'm just going to kind of pick one. Boom. So we're in the mission area. And we find Facet's friend, Dr. Burma Huang, a scientist and friend of Facet, in her home in the Tokyo Row apartments. She tells you that Bishop Imports has an artifact in their possession. She sends you to Bishop Imports headquarters in Unio International. So just kind of show you around the rest of the mission area here. I don't know, maybe beat up some bad guys. I don't particularly remember offhand the details of the mission. But I do have them all logged, and I'll tell you a little bit about that at the end of the video. So if you want to get all of the data, I'll tell you exactly where to get it. But we are out of here, and we are going to head to Unio, into Bishop Imports. Alright, so Bishop Imports is just right around the corner here. We're going to do a little bit of hyper jumping right over this building here. Woo! There it is, Bishop Imports building. And we land right in front of it, right by a neighborhood access node. This one is not active, unfortunately, but that had a nice effect to it. You could probably activate that effect too, if you wanted to. It's probably a command for it. So I'm just going to jump because I know that the elevators will not take us to any of the floors. From the first floor anyway. So I'm going to hybrid jump up to the middle, and we'll use a side door to get in. That way I'll just show you the mission area, and I'll tell you what the mission was about. Again, I have the missions logged, screenshot format, so you can read along if you want to see what they were. So we're on the 13th floor right now. I believe we're just going to head up to like the 14th floor. And just a sample mission area. So in this phase of the mission, we are instructed to find an artifact which happens to be a scalpel, the one that Burma Huang was telling us about. We also get a postcard. I remember in the mission we got like a safe that you could pick the lock, or you could beat up a bad guy and get the key and open it up. And you open up the safe and you get a postcard, and it's written by an unknown sender asking to examine the artifact in exchange for information on it. So right here is just a little a newspaper, just a little detail I tried to focus in on. It references the software building that Trinity blew up in Reloaded. So basic, office, mission area, some file cabinets. Probably found a scalpel in one of them. You could hack the computer and get like a little cryptogram or clues to what's coming up in the next couple of missions. Whoop, open up. And we are out of here. We can, however, get from any floor back down to the first floor. So we head right out the lobby. And that ends our mission. However, we have that postcard. And by looking at the postcard, we can tell that it's originated from the White Lotus Hotel in Shinjuku International. So we head over there to investigate. And there it is. The White Lotus Hotel, and that's the image on the postcard. So we're going to go in to investigate, and we find another collector, and this is like a save point in our quest. We run into none other than Mr. Pillsworth. Again, he's not there, but we got some screenshots. Oh, the scalpel. May I see it? Oh, yes. Fascinating. A most unusual metal, and it doesn't appear to be designed for human hands. As I suspected, it is very similar to an object being researched by a friend of mine in downtown. Here is his address. If you want to know more about that object, I suggest you look him up. I'm sure he will be delighted to assist you in your research. My postcard. I wondered if Mr. Bishop ever got it. He didn't reply. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to have it back. I'll be happy to compensate you for it, of course. Oh, are you with hotel management? Yes, well, you'll find that my bill is quite in order. I'll be staying indefinitely. I'm gathering some artifacts for my research. The downtown address, which tells us that this business card, Mr. P's business card, is a mission token. So we'll go to downtown. We're going to go to Park East just because I know where it used to send us to. It used to send us to the Park East Commons. So you activate that downtown. and it kicks off a mission called a most unusual metal, which will lead us to Park East downtown and to a man named Roly Kwai. He's a researcher friend of Mr. Pillsworth. We're in the Park East Commons. We're gonna head inside the possible mission area. I know it was around this area. This may have not been the actual mission area, but I'll show you around the lobby. You know, these downtown buildings were very nice, very nicely designed. You know, kind of grid-like format with the tile on the wall, like the government building in the first movie. So I'll take the elevator up, just so you can see like a basic mission area. So we get there, and it turns out that Roly Kwai has been ambushed by cult chemical guards who have stolen his artifact. So you take out the bad guys here, and Kwai will tell you that Dr. Voss has his artifact before Kwai dies. Then you eliminate all of Voss's guards, which are like cult chemical guards. Cult Chemical is like a business in the area. They got a couple of buildings, like a monument. There's one in Richland. There's one in downtown here in Park East, which I'll show you here shortly. So you take out all those guards. And Dr. Voss is rather cooperative. He uploads the artifact image code to our inventory. He mentions Roly Kwai's theory about bringing the correct combination of boxes together in the correct location, which is downtown, would activate them. I've played these arcs many times. You don't particularly use the boxes to interact with one another. However, I did upload on my Instagram that somebody opened up a couple of Pandora's boxes, I think like a 3 and a 4, and you know, these things were tough to do with a team. There's the government building. These things were tough to do with a team, and these people just opened up 2 boxes and just took out, you know, all the enemies. So quickly here I'll show you the cult chemical monument, and there it is. And there's another collector over there. So when you upload to your inventory to a hardline, you will get the first Pandora's box. Our operator suspects Voss's cooperation may be a setup. Upon leaving, our operator downloads the Crucible of Affliction to our inventory, and that is the end of that mission and almost the end of the first arc. Now you could only open these boxes up in downtown, and you had to be something like 100 meters away from a hardline. But this particular box would reveal doctors from a past version of the Matrix who have performed tormenting tests on humans. When they and their research are no longer needed, they flee the Matrix via the Merovingian in order to continue their research. We learn that the Merovingian imprisoned them in his Blackwood prison upon their arrival in the Matrix. Now, I'm not going to tell you now, but there's some connection to the Keymaker and these Pandora's boxes. And if you've played the game, you probably know it's been like 10 years, so you may have forgotten. So tune in to the next episode. Next, I just want to tell you a little bit about what I've got going on. Follow my Instagram. It is the Blue Sky t-shirt. Let me know if you guys want it like a compression shirt, which will be shiny like that, or if you just want in a t-shirt. I'm going to do like a baseball style, and it's going to be the Blue Sky t-shirt, and the hat will be coming. So follow my Instagram, because that is where I will post when I have these things available. So I'm Vesuveusmxo on Instagram. Get the alerts so you get first crack at the new items that I have available, like the Awakening glasses, the Pandora's boxes, and the upcoming Blue Sky shirt and hat. Also subscribe to the YouTube and let me know in the comments what other MXO gear you want to see available on my new Etsy shop, which is also Vesuveusmxo. Also, let me know in the comments what videos do you want to see next after I get through the 4 episodes of Pandora's boxes. Okay, so I mentioned the mission logs. That's something that I will have on my website, which you can click through on my Instagram in the bio. It's a Wix website, and that's pretty much like the hub for everything that's non-social media. Alright folks, so that's all I've got. Hit the like button, share with your friends. Again, this is Vesuveusmxo. I want to thank you for tuning in. Hiya! I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you're still passionate about the Matrix Online like I am. I hope you're really looking into these rumors about new Matrix movies. And hopefully we get an animated series. I would really love to see the Matrix franchise directed similarly to Star Wars, because there's just so much Star Wars content. Alright folks, this is Vesuveus shutting down.